Hello everyone, I'm Lee Martin with today's SBR News Report, reporting for SportsbookReview.com. Coming up with SBR's top 4 headlines for today. Desperately Seeking Susan actor Mark Blum dies of COVID-19 complications. Netflix and YouTube are struggling to cope under the weight of pandemic demand. Drew Brees and wife Brittany donate $5 million to Louisiana communities as the state faces a nightmare fight against coronavirus. Angelina Jolie donates $1 million to a group that provides meals for kids. We begin with the sad news of Mark Blum's passing. The 69-year-old actor who starred in several hit films, such as Desperately Seeking Susan and Crocodile Dundee, died at the age of 69. Tributes are pouring in today for the much-loved and respected actor. Playwrights Horizons, a New York theater company, paid a touching tribute to the actor on Twitter today, saying, "With love and heavy hearts, Playwrights Horizon pays tribute to a dear longtime friend and a consummate artist who passed this week. Thank you, Mark, for all you brought to our theater and to theaters and audiences across the world. We will miss you." While Mark Blum was best known for his work on Desperately Seeking Susan and Crocodile Dundee, he was a mainstay of dozens of New York stage productions over the last few decades. He also enjoyed success with standout roles as Union Bob in Amazon's Mozart and Mr. Mooney on Netflix TV series You. Now, talking about Netflix, internet usage is going through the roof. As more North Americans self-isolate during the COVID-19 pandemic, internet usage is skyrocketing. The first indications of that may have been felt on Wednesday, when Netflix crashed across the United States and in several European countries. Netflix was unavailable for almost an hour Wednesday morning, but it didn't identify the issue or confirm it was the result of a mass internet usage. Speaking of Variety, a Netflix spokesperson merely said, "The issue is now fixed and we're sorry for the inconvenience." Across America and Europe, record high levels of traffic are being recorded by various providers. YouTube is putting preemptive measures in place to reduce video quality around the world in order to avoid running out of bandwidth. Google, who owns YouTube, said in a statement, "We continue to work closely with governments and network operators around the globe to do our part to minimize stress on the system during this unprecedented situation." Of course, these are unprecedented times, but some places are experiencing a nightmare. Louisiana is fast becoming the new epicenter of the virus after New York, according to various media outlets including the New York Times. Most worrisome are stats that show the fastest growth of new COVID-19 cases, which alarmingly put it on a similar trajectory with Italy and Spain, two of the worst hit places in Europe. Categorically, the prognosis looks dire for a state that has already endured its fair share of hardship in recent history, not least Hurricane Katrina. So, the announcement that Drew Brees and wife Brittany are donating $5 million to help communities in Louisiana is not only welcome, but it's also not surprising. It's what Drew Brees has done for the state that has embraced him since he became a saint. Drew and his wife have been involved in the New Orleans and Gulf South communities through their Brees Dream Foundation, ever since the quarterback, now 41 years old, joined the Saints in 2006. Most notably, providing instrumental help in the wake of Hurricane Katrina. To highlight another celebrity known for her philanthropic work around the world, actress and humanitarian Angelina Jolie does her bit as well, donating $1 million to a charity that provides meals to kids who rely on school lunches. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees Envoy made a $1 million donation to No Kid Hungry, an organization that provides aid to communities whose kids rely on school lunches for their meals. As of this week, over 1 billion children are out of school worldwide because of closures linked to coronavirus, Angelina said in a statement. Many children depend on the care and nutrition they receive during school hours, including nearly 22 million children in America who rely on food support. No Kid Hungry is making resolute efforts to reach as many of those children as possible. According to People magazine, her philanthropy extends to a donation to the UN Refugee Agency as well, and supports to schools she funds in Afghanistan, Cambodia, Kenya, and Namibia. Time for lighthearted stories. From a mother's genius idea for how to adjust to homeschooling and lockdown, to one little girl's struggle to adjust to having to survive on her mother's cooking alone. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you want to read more news articles, then head on over to the SBR Newswire. To stay updated with all current events as well as all updated sports betting content, hit that bell button and subscribe to our channel. I'm your host, Lee Martin, reporting for SportsbookReview.com.